Northbridge has led the way in altering the city's perspective. While the central business district might be the centre of the capital city, Northbridge is definitely Perth's heartbeat. It's home to the Perth Cultural Centre, which is made up of the Perth Institute of Contemporary Arts, the Art Gallery of WA, the WA Museum and the State Library. In addition to the exhibitions at the museum and gallery, there's always something to see or do at the Cultural Centre. It's here where you can attend Fringe Festival shows, you could buy tickets, watch parades and listen to live music. Just a short walk from the Perth Cultural Centre is the State Theatre of WA, which is located on the corner of William and Rose Street. It's used by local, national and international performing arts companies, but you don't really have to be a theatre buff to pay a visit. If you're a food buff, pop next door to Chicho Gelato. They've come a long way since their humble gelato cart days. They've got great flavour combinations like watermelon and mint, and classic cold brew coffee, and you kind of can't help but become a loyal fan. What I love about Chicho, probably more than the awesome fit out and the great music, is that owners Ches and Carly are not afraid to experiment with really interesting flavours. All produce is locally sourced too, and all gelato is made fresh in store. With dark and milk chocolate on tap, it's pretty hard to resist a trip to Chicho Gelato. If you're looking for more sweet things, you can visit Superstar Waffles, Whisk Creamery or Icy Ice. Once you've decided what ice cream to get, walk next door to Northside Books and have a browse. The bookstore has an interesting mix of books covering art, philosophy, politics, history, fiction as well as travel. If gelato wasn't enough for lunch or dinner, popular restaurants for locals also include Bivouac, where you can have a ridiculously good Mediterranean meal. Is Donburi for the tastiest, cheapest and delicious Japanese in Northbridge. For a no-fuss burger, head to Flipside Burgers. The Hummus Club has also established a fresh take on the trusty dip. Baby Mammoth, if you're feeling particularly carnivorous, is all about the meat. Across from Bivouac is Beans and Bunches, which is a beautiful florist run by a lady named Stacey. Safari Record Shack is also co-located with the florist and is actually run by Stacey's husband John and looked after by their border collie Bobby. Stacey also runs a series of flower workshops and you can find her down William Street Arcade. Franco Forte is outside Beans and Bunches and it's a really cute spaghetti bar. I recommend trying the antipasto or the squid in vino, but if you feel like something creamier, try the carbonara. Once you've had your fill of pasta, finish off with a visit to Mechanics Institute. Northbridge has a myriad of small bars, some of which include No Mafia, Shadow Wine Bar, Ezra Pound, Sneaky Tony's and Frisk. Elo is an airy and bright concept store that sells homewares and cups of coffee. You'll find everything here for the on-trend homewares enthusiast, like marble clocks and Nordic-inspired crockery. To truly feel at home, order a cup of coffee and head to the back of the store where you'll find a really nice courtyard. Ilo also support and stock Perth-based Micrology coffee roasters, and they serve coffee in sizes from tiny all the way through to bloody big. Where on William is a little shop along William Street that stocks a range of quirky and unique gifts, personal accessories and homewares. It's super colourful and super cute, and it's the perfect place for birthday gifts. So few stores have as much personality as Rock Rover General Store. It's a bright and colourful shop filled with vintage-inspired pieces for women. That's not to say that there isn't anything for the average Joe, as the store stocks odd socks and gifts for children. Other fashion stores include Pick Me, which stocks a few staple South Korean pieces, Claris, which is vintage-inspired, Ollie & Sons that stock leather goods, and Merge, as well as Periscope. The Bronze Snake shop is hard to miss when walking down William Street. The outside is covered with emerald green tiling and the inside has an assortment of clothes for men and women alike, which also includes an awesome selection of hats. The store was originally established in Melbourne in 2006, but has since become a store of Australian street-style staples. Remember to support your local butcher and visit the butcher shop. The name is a little misleading, as the butcher shop doesn't really stock any meats, but that shouldn't stop you from paying a visit. It does stock a cool selection of Herschel backpacks, clothes for men, as well as cards and magazines. The space works to engage artists and independent designers. Brunch is taken quite seriously in Perth, with food blogs and Instagrams dedicated to the activity of eating between morning and lunchtime. It's essential that you visit some good places. Layup is known for its interesting and hearty serving sizes. They also stock some local roasters called Blacklist Coffee Roasters, and they serve up a good cup of coffee. Bread is made fresh in-house, in addition to freshly squeezed juice. The owners are the same chefs that have also opened up venues like Gordon Street Garage, as well as the Pika Bar. While Layup offers good food, you can also choose to visit Babushka for some crazy milkshakes topped with cronuts and bacon that will easily exceed any recommended calorie intake. Sayers Sisters, Hestier's Cafe, Flora and Fauna for those who want something healthy and pretty, Little Toast Face where warm cheese toasties are reinvented, and Little Willie's. Bicycles and coffee might seem like a strange combination, but at William Street Cycle Co, they stock beautiful Tokyo bikes in an assortment of colours, and they also have a really cool cafe at the back. While the focus is obviously on the bicycles, you also have an excuse to peruse a small selection of baked goods. Speaking of coffee, don't miss a trip to get your fix, which is another bicycle and coffee combination. Little Willie's offer a solid brunch and good coffee, and Daphne, which is located toward the end of Northbridge, also serve up a mean and sophisticated brew, which is complete with opera cakes and croissants. Just near Daphne is William Top. William Top has been operating for the past 9 years at the top of William Street. It's a rustic space that offers vintage goods as well as stationery and jewellery. It sells practical and well-designed household goods for the kitchen and bathroom, which include brushes, scissors, tableware and tools. There's something for everyone here, and it specialises in a curated collection of beautiful things, including a selection of pieces made by international designers. While the store has a sign hanging in it saying it's a fancy room filled with crap, it's far from it and it's worth a visit. Plenty of locals and repeat customers visit Weston's barbershop and shave parlour. They offer traditional shaves and a chance to challenge your hairdresser to a game of pool after you get your hair done. There is an abundance of artwork around Northbridge. A series of artwork initiatives over the past few years by Form WA has seen many local Perth creatives pull together to add a little colour and a bit of attitude to the Perth streets. Some notable places for street art include Nicks Lane, William Street, Rose Street, Williams Lane, Moyer Street and Aberdeen Street. If you're feeling artistic, head over to Bohemian, an open studio. Meet the lovely ladies that run a range of printmaking workshops and take yourself home something special. Greenery has sprung up a lot in Perth. In fact, it's one of the main decor focuses at Young Love Mess Hall, which is the new kid on the block offering tantalising food and solid drinks. The Japanese succotash with zucchini and grilled eggplant is a must try, and the dessert menu is constantly evolving. If you feel like tacos and tequila tasting plates, visit La Chelita. The Chippery is probably one of the most fancy places to get chips in Perth, and we're talking chips with truffles here. Bricka has your traditional Greek food affair, and Varsity Burgers do well to imitate the American classics. Many have moved away from the hangover cure of the local kebab shop and have moved to The Moon, which is open until 2:30 in the morning for late night revelry. So a guide to Northbridge wouldn't be complete without mentioning the restaurants that make up Chinatown. Authentic Bites has some of the best dumplings in Perth, and you can watch the staff wrap and roll them together through a viewing window. My go-to dishes include the dumplings in special sauce, xiao long bao, and delicious pan-fried dumplings. For other Asian food, you can visit James Parker for a high-class authentic Japanese meal, Sura Korean restaurant where they have the best kimchi pancakes, Dragon Palace for surefire dim sum, Good Fortune Roast Duck House for succulent duck and pork crackling, Samayagian for Japanese barbecue and some good Wagyu beef. If you want something fresh, head to the popular Viet Hoa for Vietnamese. Northbridge has come a long way with its kitsch bars, creative hubs and holes in the wall that have paved the way for culinary, artistic and cultural expression. It's a place for people of all interests, cultures and backgrounds to come together, and it continues to showcase some of the best parts of Perth. I hope you enjoyed this chapter on Northbridge. Don't forget to check out my other videos and subscribe for more chapters of A Pocket of Perth.